That can be a little bit intimidating. Have you ever heard somebody say that when you tell them, you gotta work out, you gotta go to the gym, we gotta prevent these diseases and disorders. Sorry, that sounds very emergency, crisis. We don't want you to be in crisis. We want to prevent things. So today I have a special guest, Denise Mafia, and she is the owner of Pilates Physique. And she is going to tell us a little bit about preventative medicine, I suppose, and where she is, how you can find her, and why you would want to find her. So, welcome, Denise.
Thank you.
And let's start out with a little bit about your business. I know you've been in business for quite a while, longer than you've been even here in Lake Norman.
Yes. Yes. I've been teaching Pilates since 2003. Um, Started in New York and then we transplanted down here. Um, I've worked at a couple of studios here in Lake Norman. I opened my first business in 2012, and then I've been in my current location since 2014.
Awesome. And as you guys know, this is all about health around the lake.
Mhm.
So, Denise is, of course, in the Lake Norman area. Would you like to tell them where they can find you?
Yeah. We are in Cornelius, I guess you could say at the corner of Catawba and Samford Road, where the original Crafty Burger is, where the Urban Air Adventure Park is, Brewster's Ice Cream. Everybody knows that. And we are upstairs. We are not storefront. We are on the second floor above June's Cleaners, who has been there forever.
I love that. And I love that you're, second floor, as you've mentioned, it's more of a boutique studio. This is not your big franchise. Not that there's anything wrong with the big franchises, but this is a very different energy. Um, we were talking previously about the type of clients that you tend to or enjoy working with. And you mentioned one of your oldest clients, which is mind-blowing to me because I have tried Pilates. It's not easy.
Mhm. Yeah. My oldest client right now, she's 86. She came to me, I believe she was 79, and she does Pilates, but she does Pilates for an older postmenopausal woman that had her spine fused decades ago, that had two knee replacements, that lost almost 250 pounds. So
Wow.
she does not do a 55-minute session like most of my other private client students do. She does 30 minutes with me once a week. Um, we follow a pretty basic routine, but we move her arms, we move her legs. She does not have osteopenia or osteoporosis. So we move her spine, we rotate, we flex sideways, we flex forward, and then we work back extension as well to keep her from getting that rounded forward posture.
Amazing. And I just love that. And I know a lot of people make the assumption that at a certain age, I'm too old for that, or, they have maybe an injury. Like you just mentioned, that lovely lady had multiple things, and yet she still comes into the studio and you're able to help her. Um, Probably something to do with the fact that you are classically trained and have a lot more certifications than, say, the average trainer would.
Mm-hmm. Yes. These days, whether you are classically or contemporary trained in Pilates, there are several big schools, Balance Body being one of them. They're also a equipment manufacturer. There's Power Pilates, which is classical. There is Peak Pilates, which leans more classical. There's multiple large organizations. Polestar Pilates out of Miami, um, they're extremely rehabilitative. Um, Pilates itself is not
Mm.
rehabilitation. Pilates is a method of movement that we can use to strengthen and get you ready for surgery, or when you are post surgery and you've completed your rehabilitation, because rehabilitation is about the area that's affected. Pilates is about the whole body. So we'll work with you
Mm.
before, or we will work with you when you have been released from your post surgical rehabilitation and focus on everything that you function as a unit. A lot of what we do, our population is slightly older. So we focus the exercises or the movements that they perform, whether it's on the mat or any of the apparatus, um, and we teach them how that relates to their ADLs, their active daily living.
Oh,
My goal is that one of my 70-something-year-olds wants to go to China. You need to be able to squat to go to the bathroom. So they have that mobility to squat to go to the bathroom when they are in China.
that
So
is
that
awesome.
that
So
that's what we pride ourselves on, is that they do what they do because they do Pilates.
that's amazing. Now, I want everyone to come down and see you, but I'm going to give them a little bit of a teaser. Now, even though Pilates is movement and it's not about rehabilitation, you gave me a little bit of a secret before that you guys do work with feet. Now, most women my age, postmenopause, they have foot problems. And it's
Mm-hmm.
because we don't take care of our feet, ladies. We do not take care of our feet, especially for the first 30 years of our lives. Now, I don't want you to tell them what you do to help with feet. I want you guys to go down and see Denise, and that will be part of your learning because you'll be her student. So thank you so much, Denise, for your time today. And I would love people to reach out to Denise. What is your website? We'll put it underneath the video as well, but I'd love you to just say it just in case somebody's listening and not looking.
The website is mypilatesphysique.com.
Awesome. You guys heard it here first. Probably not first. All right. Thank you so much for your time today. And you guys, I will see you next week.
Thanks, Julie.